What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Aquarius season workshop. If this is your first time, thank you for joining me. If you are back, welcome back. Um, this is my fourth time recording. I don't know what's going on. We'll see if I make it through. I might have to come back another day and do this. So there is something in the energy fields, and I think that we might be running into some hiccups this season. I think we might be seeing where we are standing in our own way this season and where we really need to break free and liberate ourselves in new ways. Now, this is also happening on a collective scale, this whole idea of liberation and how we can honestly, there's a need to create more safety for all of us. And what's really important around Aquarius season, sorry, we're just like going to jump right in. If this is your first time, I don't know if I always start so like quickly, but we're doing it now because the channel's open and I've been like trying to record this now a couple times. So I feel like we are ready to talk. And what they want to talk about first is that Aquarius is on one side of the sky, and on the other side of the sky, we have Leo. So Leo is me and I and how we individually show up. So Leo is like how you shine uniquely on your own. And Aquarius is all about we and the people and the collective. So there's a real need for us to understand how we show up in this collective experience and how we can create a sense of security for everybody involved. And that's what Aquarius really is here to teach us, is how to reimagine, rethink, redesign the world that we live in and create a safer, more abundant, more prosperous experience for all of us. Aquarius has the potential to bring us into utopia, which is like total heaven on earth, expansion beyond all belief, abundance for everyone, love and safety. It's very like the kumbaya hippie, like playing guitar, hugging a tree. Like that's very Aquarius energy. Now, the low vibration of Aquarius is very like dystopia. It's very oh, what's the word? It's very dystopian. I don't know the other word that's trying to come through right now. It's like a lot of control, a lot of like um a lot of imprisonment, a lot of oppression and abuse. Now we get a look at both sides of the coin. So what we get an opportunity to do this season is to look at where do we continue to maybe oppress versions of ourselves. So for example, if you understand on a conscious level that you deserve alignment and abundance and love and flow and joy and all of these beautiful things that the world has to offer, then that's great because like, fuck yes, you deserve all those things. But if on a deeper level, you are canceling out your opportunity to access that level of joy, that level of abundance, because there is a part of you that continues to oppress that part of yourself, which sounds a little crazy. You're like, there's no way that I'm like oppressing another part of myself, not consciously, but unconsciously, you might have some deep programs around self-worth or self-love, or that maybe there's a scarcity program that you picked up from your family when you were a child, or from when you were a college student and you couldn't, afford, like you have to pay your cell phone bill or you have to pay for food, or it's like when we enter those states of scarcity, like we enter survival, and when we enter survival we enter this like fight or flight stage, and like if we're operating in that space for years or for like our entire childhood or for like our years that are the years that we're impressionable, if we're accessing our entire experience through a lens of scarcity, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not lovable, or I'm not desirable, or whatever. And that can come from early relationships, from our families, from our early school years. Like, if we're experiencing that feeling and we start creating a story around like why I'm so undesirable, why I'm so unlovable, why I'm not good enough as everybody else, those are versions of ourselves that we're believing. This is a story that we're believing. And that story, that idea, is oppressing another part of ourselves that is trying to like reach this ultimate abundance and this ultimate joy and this ultimate love and creative expression and all these things. So like, you are multifaceted. You have potential, endless potential. And that potential is oftentimes stunted by other parts of yourself that don't believe that you deserve to reach that potential. Now, when we get into this loop, which I have had, I still have, you have to some degree, like we all have these loops that we get caught in. This is what we're here to do as a human, is to figure out like, how do we break through these limitations? And that's what's, I almost said Scorpio. That is in part what Scorpio teaches us, because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto brings on death and rebirth. And we have the same day, more or less, around the 20th, we start Aquarius season. Around the 20th, Pluto, which is what I was just talking about, death and rebirth, Pluto is tied to that Scorpio energy, that transformation. Pluto will enter Aquarius when we start Aquarius season. So we're kicking off Aquarius season with deep illumination around the shadow aspects of ourself that continue to oppress the higher expression of ourself. So you may feel, and maybe some of you have noticed this has been coming up for a while, especially because we just finished a Mercury retrograde. Where do you like water yourself down for other people's comfort? Where do you play small because part of you is scared to fully expand? Where do you lie to yourself about not being good enough? Where do you lie to yourself about not being worthy? Like, these old feelings, these old ideas, these old stories are what we now have an opportunity to reinvent. And I say that because Aquarius is a fixed air sign. So fixed air talks about the stories, talks about communication, talks about perspective and ideas. And what we need to do right now is lean deeper into reshaping these stories, reshaping these perspectives, reshaping these ideas of who we are. And I say that because Aquarius loves and has a natural ability to understand a system or to understand a story and then to tear it apart and to rewrite it, to understand a system and to tear it apart and to reestablish the system. Now, what we can do is understand a system and manipulate the system into a more oppressive system, or which what I just described is a low vibration of Aquarius energy. Or if we want to access a high vibration, a more positive vibration of Aquarius energy, we can understand these systems that clearly don't fucking work, and we can begin to dismantle those systems, and we can recreate and reestablish these systems with community at the center, with people at the center, not just benefiting a small group of people on the backs and while oppressing a large group of people. No, we're letting go of that. And we are moving into a time where we need to be more collectively organized, where we need to be more people-centric, where we need to be more community-driven. And that is what Aquarius teaches us. Aquarius is, again, that like kumbaya, tree hugger, world peace person and energy. But Aquarius is also like a dystopian, lockdown sort of like oppressive state. So like we get to choose which element. It's like all signs. Like Gemini can be like super gossipy and backstabby and two-faced and whatever. Or Gemini can also be like a teacher, somebody who understands all perspectives and can help mediate a conversation. And it's like, so all signs have a high vibration and a low vibration. Now, Pluto moving into Aquarius, I actually have a Pluto in Aquarius workshop because this is a 15-year cycle that we are working with. So I'm just going to write down Pluto 25. So if you want to watch the Pluto in Aquarius workshop, because you're here and you're already clearly investing into yourself, use the code Pluto25 to get 25% off of the Pluto in Aquarius workshop. I'm gonna dive deep into how to work with this. Actually, maybe that workshop will be pay what you can too. I don't know. I need to test this out. But like what I'm also thinking is that I lean more into a pay what you can or a sliding scale type of payment structure. And again, this idea just started coming up over the last couple days where I'm like, I do the new moon and the full moon at pay what you can sliding scale. Like, and I did that because I want more people to be able to access this knowledge and this work. And like that is very Aquarius energy. And that's why I wanted to offer the Aquarius season workshop at this sliding scale type thing, because I want more people to be able to access this knowledge. Like it's not just about the money, it's not just about the resources, like it's actually about the work that we're doing. And that's what we need to begin to think about during Aquarius season is like, how do you contribute to the collective? And how does your contribution to the collective benefit the collective? And in turn, how does that benefit you? Because you are part of the collective. So it's like, yes, I'm spiritual and I'm a teacher, if you want to call it that. Like I'm somebody that I speak and there are people who want to hear what I have to say. And that's beautiful. And I'm grateful for that. Does that mean that I shouldn't be able to like live a comfortable life? Like, absolutely not. And like, I've struggled a lot with thinking this, like, money is bad or money is evil or like, no, it's not. And this is where we need to start shifting these paradigms. Like money is not bad. Nothing is innately bad or good, within reason. Like murder is obviously bad, but it's like, if you're murdering someone because that person is keeping 1,000 people as prisoners and he's beating those people and assaulting those people and terrorizing those people, then like, sorry, but like, is it bad to kill that person and to let 1,000 people free? Like, I don't fucking know. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying it's like, we have this idea that like, we are so fixated on like, this is good, this is bad. This is yes, this is no. This is black, this is white. And I feel like we need to get away from that. Like, that's what we're here to dissolve, is this idea of like, yes or no, black or white, in or out, right or wrong. And like, again, we all still need to have like a moral compass. And like, obviously, again, yeah, like hurting people is bad. But like, where do you hurt yourself with this idea of like, this is right, this is wrong? And because of that, I am so close-minded. I don't have another way of seeing it. I'm not even open to exploring other possibilities. I don't even want to hear what other people have to say. Like, and that type of energy can come up during this season because Aquarius does have the ability to disconnect and to disassociate. And that's a low vibrational quality, to be like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm right. Remember, fixed air. Air is thoughts, ideas, stories. I'm right, fixed, stuck. This is my story. I'm stuck with this story, and I don't want to fucking hear what you have to say. And it's like, well, that's not how we progress. You should have conversations with people who completely disagree with you, at least as often as you're having conversations with people who agree with you, so that you can begin to break free from your own internalized limitations, your own mental limitations. These old stories, these old ideas. And like moments ago, when I was saying, like, murder's bad. Well, is it bad if you're doing this? It's like, I'm sure some of you were like, I can't believe you just said that. Yes, murder is always bad. It's like, well, who fucking knows? And it's like, look at that girl who just, oh my God, I forget her name. Leave it in the comments if you know her name. But there's this girl who, like, she was suffering from Munchausen syndrome, and her mom was convincing her that she was sick for like 15, 20 years or something like that. And then she, like, basically to get away from her mom's sick abuse, and like her mom, like, clearly had like very serious problems. And again, like, my point is, like, to get out of that, like, she and her boyfriend at the time, like, killed the mom. Like, yeah, that's crazy. And it's like, for people to need to go to that extreme to be able to free themselves in some capacity, like, where internally do we need to go to some extremes internally? And I'm not talking about hurting yourself or hurting other people. This is not the point of this conversation. The point is, there is a division right now of people saying, well, yes, that girl should go to jail because she murdered her mom. And then there's other people being like, she only did that so that she could break free from the sick and twisted experience that her mom was putting her through for 20 years of abuse. And it's like, this is where, like, where do you keep yourself in this small space of like internal oppression or internal abuse, really? Like, where do you have these outdated stories in your mind of like, you're not good enough? Like, that's abusive. You can't say that to yourself. You need to stop saying that to yourself. Or like, you're never going to be as good as those people. What, your imposter syndrome shows up, and you give your imposter syndrome the microphone so that the imposter syndrome gets to say everything that it wants to say, and you have to sit there and believe it about yourself. You're going to lie to yourself through this lens that you're not good enough to be something or to be somewhere. And where do you now have to go to an extreme of saying, fuck this imposter syndrome voice, I am done with it. I need to kill off this version of myself. I need to kill off this voice. And when I say kill off, I'm talking about doing the shadow work. I'm talking about exploring and bringing compassion and bringing wisdom and bringing love into that part of yourself so that you can begin to understand that this is not something that you should be carrying any longer. And Aquarius is going to teach us how to disconnect from that, because you have had that fucking voice in your fucking head for long enough. And now you have an opportunity to say, I'm not doing this anymore. And when Pluto, death and rebirth, enters Aquarius, fixed thoughts, stuck stories, we're going to have an opportunity this season and for the next 15 years to reinvent these fucking programs, to rewrite these stories. Sorry, there's part of me that, like, I want to shut this off and restart because I'm like, I feel like I'm talking about some like either controversial things or just things that are going to be, they're going to trigger some of these people. And some people are not ready to hear what I'm saying. And I guess that's totally fine. And if you're still here, then like, fuck yes. And God bless you, because like, you can at least handle this type of conversation. So I love you and thank you for that. And you understand that I'm not telling you to go out and murder your mother. Which I'm not, just to clarify, like, do not cause harm on yourself or other people. That's not what I'm trying to get across. But I also feel that part of me wants to shut this off. And that's because there's a fear here that I'm like, oh my God, what if this isn't well received? What if this isn't? And there's another part of me that's like, no, that's what's coming through. So like, trust yourself, trust what's coming through. And I'm reworking that part of myself that is fearful that if I'm not received, that means something. It doesn't fucking mean anything, you know? So like, where do you have these fears? Where do you have this imposter syndrome? Where do you feel the need to change who you are or what you want to do or what you feel called to say so that you can create a level of safety, which is actually based off of survival? It's like, if you can monitor yourself at work or in your relationships, and we're learning a lot of this right now with the South Node in Libra. And I have a whole other workshop, the nodes workshop. I'll get them to tag it here. You can find it on my website. If you haven't watched that, you need to watch it because we're working with that energy for the next 13 months or 12 months. It's a full year. What we are currently experiencing right now is, where do you create a false sense of security by manipulating the environment around you? So when I talk about manipulation, I talk about you not speaking up when you know you should speak up, you watering yourself down, you not acknowledging your own needs or your own desires or your own creative gifts or intuitive gifts. And you don't share it. You don't speak up. You don't act on it because there is a fear of being rejected. And if you are rejected, then you are not safe, quote unquote. So as a human, we are all wired for safety. So where do you smile and say, yeah, no, everything's fine, and it's not fine? And you're saying that so that you are still accepted into the environment that you're at. Therefore, if you are accepted, you are safe. Okay? I hope you're following this. So what we need to understand with Aquarius season is that that version of ourselves needs to be acknowledged. We need to see where that version of ourselves plays out, where that version of ourselves comes up, where that version of ourselves, this outdated way of being, still presents itself. And once we can see it, we can then illuminate it. We can say, oh, wow, I'm still doing that. I still water myself down for other people. I'm still scared to fully show up or to voice my opinion. I'm still scared to trust whatever weird example is coming through this conversation around, Munchausen syndrome and whatever. I'm scared to say that because somebody here might be too triggered and might not be able to receive that. And therefore, my scarcity mindset, oh no, is this person not going to like me anymore? Am I going to sell less workshops? Am I not going to be able to support the 25 people that work for my company now? And it's like, this is where all my fear goes. And it's like, no, fuck that. I'm going to say what is coming through, and I'm going to stand in what feels real and alive for me right now. And I'm not going to water myself down. I'm not going to cut off the channel. I'm not going to stop sharing because I'm scared. Because I'm scared that I'm going to be rejected or not well received or whatever it is. And this is where we need to stop fucking people pleasing, and we need to stop watering ourselves down. And you know what is so amazing about Aquarius is that Aquarius doesn't give a shit what people think. Aquarius energy doesn't give a shit what people think. Aquarius energy is so unique and just out there, and they don't fucking care. They don't care. And they can compartmentalize your feedback. Over here, don't care. Your response, over here, don't care. Your judgment, over here, don't care. I'm going to still show up. I'm going to still channel what's coming through. I'm going to still make my point, because at some point in the right environment with the right people, this will be received. And people who know me and can feel into my heart and what I'm sharing and what we're talking about, they'll realize that it doesn't matter how weird I am, how unique I am, how strange the example that's coming through is. They're going to feel the resonance of what is happening here. They're going to feel my gifts. They're going to feel me showing up, and they're going to resonate with a part of that. And that is what you need to figure out, because you have your own unique medicine. You have your own unique voice. You have your own unique approach and contribution. And Aquarius, I think I said this before, Aquarius is opposite Leo. So Leo is all about who the fuck I am and how I show up. But the relationship between Leo and Aquarius is like, you cannot fully show up to contribute. You cannot fully show up in community. You cannot fully bring your medicine and your magic to the collective if you're watering yourself down. So you need to look at what parts of your psyche are oppressing the other parts of your being. You want to express yourself fully. What are you doing that doesn't allow you to express yourself fully? You want to show up uniquely and offer your own medicine. Maybe that's, maybe you have an amazing way with numbers and you're an accountant. Maybe you're a yoga teacher. Maybe you're an artist or whatever. You want to show up and contribute your medicine to society, but you're not confident in who you are. And there's a level of imposter syndrome that shows up and tells you you're not good enough. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. Well, guess what, bitch? I want to know what you have to say. I think you fucking matter, and I think you should show the fuck up. So what you should do is begin to understand when your mind does that. If you can understand when your mind does that, that's the first, like the first step in the right direction. You see it. Now, the sun in Aquarius, the sun illuminates. Now we are illuminating these fixed stories. I'm not good enough. This is a weird example. I don't want to say it because I don't know how people are going to respond. Fuck it. Say it. Do it. And it's like, I mean, of course, be respectful, be nice, try not to like, you know, trigger people if you don't have to. Like, but sometimes it's just like you're there, you're in the space to do something, to say something, to shake things up. And that's what Aquarius season is showing us, how to shake things up. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Bitch. That is like the lightning bolt that comes from the sky and strikes down the tower in the tarot. Uranus is the revolutionary. Uranus is rebellion. So where can you rebel against your own self? Where can you rebel against your own way of thinking? When you want to do something, oh, I shouldn't speak up, or oh, I'm not good enough. Fuck that. Yes, I am. Rebel against that part of yourself. So you're going to see that there are parts of your psyche that want to oppress your other parts that are actually your key to success, that are actually your opportunity for expansion, that are actually doors to abundance. And that, I swear to God, and I'm living proof, that level of abundance and opportunity and expansion is only going to come from you showing up in your own unique way. Okay? I would find success doing other things. I did. I was a sign language interpreter for 10 years. I made great money doing that. I had a great career. Like I could have continued doing that. I felt that I was called in a different direction after 10 years of doing that. And I started doing workshops like this and doing more tarot card readings online and stuff like that. And since I found that next level of my process, of my flow, of my own unique gift and my own unique medicine, I have found mind-blowing abundance and expansion. And you too have access to that, but it only comes from your own unique medicine, your own unique contribution. But in order for you to contribute properly, you need to look at that Leo energy, because Aquarius and Leo, they're opposites. They're like sister signs. And it's like, you need to look at that Leo energy. Who are you? Who are you? And what do you have to offer? And when you can understand that you have an amazing fucking gift to offer this world, and I'm telling you, you do. I don't give a shit what your parents told you, what society tells you, what that fucking asshole in middle school told you. I don't care. I'm telling you, you have a fucking gift. So fucking use it. And in order for you to use it, you need to understand what parts of yourself are limiting your own potential. And those are the parts that you need to illuminate and you need to break free from. Now, it's easier said than done, and a lot of it comes with deep mental programming and processing. But what's also important is that once we start seeing, oh, I still think this way, we need to take action on creating new habits and structures that allow us to believe something else. So if, for example, you, okay, I'm told to move on. They were like, you don't need to give an example. If you are acting one way, this is the last thing I'll say about this. If you are acting one way and you're realizing like, I don't like the way that I behave. I don't like the way that I think. I don't like the way that I'm engaging in my life in this capacity. Then what you could do is say, what does my fullest potential look like or feel like? okay, if my fullest potential looks like X, looks like this, how can I embody that? How can I actually take actionable steps to create a daily practice or daily habits that support that version of myself? What would that version of myself do? And start working that into your daily practice. Start working that into your week, you know? So look ahead, see who you would be if you could reach your fullest potential. And then from there, work backwards and ask yourself, what would that version of me be doing? What would that version of me, how would that version of me talk? What would that version of me eat? How would that version of me present themselves in a meeting creatively, sexually, whatever? And begin to work in that awareness into this new version of yourself, because that is doing exactly what Aquarius does. It understands a system. It understands how your internal system works right now. And it realizes this is not how I want to keep working. So I'm going to reinvent this system. I'm going to reinvent thyself. Now, with Pluto entering Aquarius, and again, we're going to have a whole workshop around that, but Pluto in Aquarius is allowing us to go through that deep death, rebirth, and transformation of these old stories, these fixed belief systems. So we're getting away from that, okay? We're getting away from this old way of thinking. And you have to. Now, what do I want to talk about next? Okay, they're bringing my attention to January 27th. If you have, this is on page 11 of your 2024 tarot forecast. If you have it, you will see, and you should have it, okay? Go download it. It's fucking awesome. I know, I was just thinking, like, I just put a code on one of the other workshops for the bundle, but whatever, I'll just share it here too. There's a code 1111 off, which is 1111 off, and it'll let you save $11.11 on the bundle of the tarot forecast and the astrology calendar. Okay. This is the calendar. I wrote this with 4 other astrologers. It's fucking awesome. Okay, on the 27th, Uranus stations direct in Taurus. Uranus rules Aquarius, okay? We have on the same day the sun in Aquarius, and it will square Jupiter. And we have Mercury joining Mars in Capricorn. So the note that we have here is there are changes within that will be beginning, okay? So we're going to feel a lot of these internalized changes. We're going to feel ready to take action. So this is a week into Aquarius season. We're going to feel really aligned to take action. We have that sun in Aquarius squaring Jupiter. So there's going to be a little bit of probably discomfort over maybe that week leading up to it, or some, a week afterwards, where we're going to be like, ugh, this doesn't work for me anymore. And it's because the sun is really illuminating certain things where we're too stuck, and Jupiter is asking us to grow beyond those things. We could have a lot of impulsive or demanding communication. So just be careful with that, because Mercury and Mars in Capricorn can be sharp with the words. Even in your Aquarius season guide that comes with this workshop, there are key transits. So I have mine open. These are just the notes for from my team and my astrologers and everything like that. So yours looks a lot prettier. I'm not going to go through all these, but we do have the key transits. If you have the calendar, read both, because I have different astrologers do a lot of these things. We bring it all together and make sure it's all cohesive and we're all on the same page. But if you are reading your calendar and you're reading this, it's not copied and pasted. So you're going to learn from reading this seasonal guide that you have. If you have this workshop, you can check. I think actually under this workshop, if you're on the member section of my website, there's like a digital guide and you can click the PDF and it'll download it. Read the key transits. If you have the calendar, read the key transits also and the monthly breakdown, okay? Let's just go through this quickly. So we have Aquarius season begins, Pluto enters Aquarius. This is on the 20th. We've talked a lot about that, and the Pluto Aquarius workshop is separate. So we've got a Venus enters Capricorn on the 23rd. So this is going to be really helpful for us to figure out, like, what is important for us? What do we want to be protecting, and how do we want to be expressing ourselves? A lot of you there's going to be a lot of potential to like monetize also like a hobby or something that you're really good at. Maybe your art. If you're an artist, like you're probably going to figure out a way to like monetize that in some way, or maybe you're making more sales, or you're beginning a new collection that's going to make a lot of money or something along those lines. This is like art meets business is the kind of vibe. Also like boundaries in relationships, contracts, love, agreements of giving and taking, receiving, and that type of thing. On the 25th, we have a full moon in Leo. So again, Leo and Aquarius, they work together. They're sister signs. So Aquarius is all about the people. Leo is all about myself and how I contribute to the people. So this full moon in Leo is going to be highlighting a lot of our own unique gifts and how our talents fit into the big picture, okay? I'll also have a full moon in Leo workshop, so we can dive deeper into that. Uranus stations direct on the 27th of January. So that is what they were bringing my attention to earlier, which got me into this discussion now. Uranus rules Aquarius. So Uranus has been retrograde for a while in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus, interestingly enough, is also about foundations and structures and habits. And Taurus is also a fixed sign. So Uranus, which is the ruler of fixed sign Aquarius, right? Aquarius is a fixed sign, and Uranus rules Aquarius. So Uranus rules a fixed sign, and Uranus is actually in a fixed sign. So there's a lot of fixed energy here. So what that means is that there are certain ideas that you have about yourself where you're too fucking stuck, where you don't think you're good enough, you don't think you deserve more, you don't think whatever the bullshit is. It can also be traumas, old heartbreaks, old grudges. So where we are so stuck in the mind, that creates a story. What do we do even unconsciously as a human? We continue to act on these old stories and to recreate an experience that confirms these stories so that our ego can say, see, I told you so. See, I told you I wasn't good enough. See, I told you I'll never be good enough. See, I told you I'm unlovable, or whatever it is. So like our stories and our belief systems are directly related to our action, and our action is directly related to our habits, and our habits are directly related to our foundations. So it's like our thoughts influence our actions influence our habits, and our habits create our foundations. So on the 27th of, sorry, my ears are ringing. On the 27th of January, we have Uranus stationing direct, which means we are done with sitting back and understanding, oh, these things need to change, and those things need to change. And wow, I'm still triggered by the same old bullshit. I'm still not giving myself enough fucking credit. I'm still scared of these same things. Maybe I'm not opening myself up to vulnerability. Maybe I'm not opening myself up to love. Maybe I'm not opening myself up to opportunity, abundance, flow, whatever. And it's like, holy shit, I'm really done with this. Now, when Uranus moves forward, Uranus brings that rebellious energy. So when he begins to move forward, he is now beginning to rebel through the sign of Taurus. So we are going to see a lot of things being shaken up around resources, structures, probably the foods we eat, the habits we have, the boundaries we have, the daily actions we take, the seeds we've been planting, so on and so forth. So this is a really helpful energy because when Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius, moves forward, Aquarius season is going to get ramped right the fuck up. And we have Pluto in Aquarius adding even more energy to Aquarius season. February 4th, Mercury enters Aquarius. So we have even more Aquarius energy. This is going to help you communicate and interpret the world in a little more unconventional way. So you're going to start saying the things that you really need to say. You're going to start moving through life differently. This is an invitation to think about innovating. Think about innovating yourself, your habits, your ways of being. Like, reinvent yourself, babe. It's fucking time, you know? And like, the world needs a new version of you showing up fully authentic, not watering yourself down, and contributing your own medicine and your own gifts so that we can actually begin to build community and real safety. Not watering ourselves down and manipulating people into thinking we're okay when we're not really okay, therefore creating a false sense of safety, a false sense of security. No, we're done with that. Because subconsciously, we even know I'm not even safe here because I'm lying to these people. I'm not happy in this relationship. I'm not happy at this job, but I pretend I am so that I can stay safe. But then in the deeper part of my subconscious mind, I know I'm lying, which means I don't even actually feel safe because if they found out that I was lying, I would not be safe because they know I'm lying. You know what I mean? So it's like we overcomplicate this whole situation. Like, just show up authentically. And I know, again, easier said than done, but bitch, it's time to fucking do it. And like, what they're bringing to my attention is the star, okay? The tarot card, the star. The star is Aquarius energy, and this represents our dreams coming true. So you're not going to be able to have your dreams come true if you are constantly playing small. You're not going to be able to have your dreams come true if you're watering yourself down. You're not going to be able to reach your full level of potential and abundance and joy and love if you are watering yourself down and walking down a path that is not your authentic path. How could you possibly reach your full potential if you're not even on the road that is leading you to your full potential? If you're watering yourself down and wearing a mask and walking down a road that is not your road, then you're not going to see all the doors that are meant for you. You're not going to see all the opportunities and the people and the connections that are meant for you, because those opportunities, that expansion, that level of access and money and resources, all of those are available to you on your road. All of those are available to you on your divine path, not on the divine path of someone else, not on you watering yourself down for safety and not speaking up and not living in your truth for whatever fucking reason. It's like, you're not going to reach your full potential if you're on a path that's not your path. So like, you can literally lean into one of these two cards. 10 of Wands is like, he's not even looking in front of him. He can't see where he's going because he's carrying all this bullshit. And he's going to keep walking back and forth, missing the house in the background, okay? It's like he's going to be missing out on a lot of opportunities because he's so weighed down with this 10 of Wands by all of these either traumas, perceived responsibilities, these old ideas, this old emotional baggage that he's carrying. It's like, you can hold on to all this shit and do whatever you want with it, sure. Or you can start dreaming. You can start seeing outside of these old ways of thinking. Look at all the stories that this person is carrying. Let them go. And instead, like, drop the weight and begin to enter a space of potential. This is like the world is your oyster. This is like looking out from the castle and seeing on the horizon all the unlimited potential that is before us. And this person can only free themselves from this 10 of Wands energy. You have to free yourself from this 10 of Wands energy. And this is what Aquarius teaches us. Aquarius is the water bearer, right? It's not a water sign, but it's the water bearer. And the water bearer is about sharing wisdom. It's about collecting it from the stars and pouring it back into the earth. It's about going deep within, connecting with our intuition, understanding what is our unique path and our unique contribution, and then pouring that out into the world. This is a sharing of wisdom. This is a redistribution of wealth. This is a reinvention of yourself and getting out of your own fucking way and being able to be as messy and as unique as you really are. And if you are not received in that way, or you are not allowed to shine in that way, then you need to change where you are and stop changing who you are. And I think that this same idea and message came up in the nodes workshop. You need to change where you are, not who you are. Okay? So Aquarius season is going to ask you to lean deeper into being the unique being that you are, and to understand where there are parts of yourself that hold that unique self in a prison somewhere. It's like there's two versions of you. One of them is like my real ass weirdo, quirky, all my funny ideas, all my funny jokes, all my big dreams and aspirations, and like just everything I want to do. And then there's the part of myself that is digestible. And the digestible part of myself always shows up and says, don't say that. Don't use that example. People might not respond well. Maybe, you know what? Maybe people won't understand you. But the people who do understand me will fucking still be here watching this fucking workshop. And thank you, because you're still fucking here. It's like, those are the motherfuckers who are ride or die. Those are the people who fucking get it. And it's like, that's because it's like a vibrational thing. And this is where you need to start showing up and understanding that there are people who will receive you vibrationally. There are people who you can do your quirky, fun dance shit with, and they will be like, I fucking love this bitch. And it's like, those are the people that you want to be creating with. Okay? Those are the parts of yourself that you want to let have more space and take up more space, because that's what the universe is demanding right now. And it's like, we can't let the part of ourself that is digestible and that's a good boy or a good girl or that follows all the rules or that, like, fuck that. Did you not hear me when I said that Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius? That is literally the rule fucking breaker. Break the fucking rules. Write that down, bitch. You want to write something down in your little notepad there, babe? Write down, break the fucking rules, and break your own rules. Break your own internalized rules. The rules that are like, oh, I'm not allowed to do this because I'm not good enough. Or I'm not going to say something because people don't care. Or I'm not going to, where did you get those rules all set up? Where did that system get established? Fuck it. Fuck that system. So like, this is what happens, especially when Mercury enters Aquarius on February 4th. This is an opportunity for us to blow out of that and to start communicating all these things. On February 9th, we have a new moon in Aquarius. This is reminding us that our perceptions and our thoughts are extremely powerful, and that we get to invent and reinvent ourselves and our entire life, our entire story. You are the director. You are the script writer. You are the main actor. Whatever. We're going to dive into that, the New Moon Workshop. Obviously, watch it. And then on the 12th, we have Mars enters Aquarius. And on the 16th, we have Venus enters Aquarius. So holy shit. By the end of Aquarius season, we have the Sun in Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, Mercury in Aquarius. We will then have the new moon in Aquarius, Mars, and Venus in Aquarius. There's a lot of Aquarius energy here, y'all. So it's like, let's use this to just liberate ourselves. Liberation for yourself. The sooner you liberate yourself, the sooner you can inspire others to liberate themselves, and the sooner we can all move towards liberation. Okay, I have a couple keywords here that I want to talk about, and then we're going to get into the visualization. Just, I feel like so dizzy right now and out of it. Like I feel fully disconnected from just like my body at the moment. There's just a lot of things channeling through, but I don't, let's, we want to talk about these keywords, please. Low vibrational Aquarius energy, disconnected, disassociated, cold, compartmentalized, rude, potentially delusional, escapism. So just be careful if those energies are expressing themselves through you or through other people this season, and just like keep an eye on not feeding into that too much. Okay. Some high vibrational Aquarius keywords are the tree hugger, world peace, balance, equilibrium, community, connection, people, reinvention, realignment, recreation. So this is definitely the direction we want to lean into. Okay. Now, Aquarius also rules the 11th house in modern day astrology. And this is again about community, the public. This is like our audience. This is dreamers. So it's like, how do we connect and inspire others to, like, how do we lead by example? How do we show up fully and unapologetically? And we just say, this is who I am, take it or leave it. And then how do we like take that energy and inspire other people by virtue of just being who we are in our own uniqueness? You know what I mean? So definitely lean into that. Fixed air, we've talked about. We are also in the age of Aquarius too. True. So there's even more Aquarius energy. Just this is like the next 2,000-year cycle, or like whatever the crazy number is. But we are also in the age of Aquarius. Oh my God, true. I never said Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius and you watch your horoscope on Instagram, you'll get it. For the rest of you, I don't know, but I just took the notorious BIG and added Aquarius. So anyways, some other things we have here are technology. There's a lot of technology, AI, all of that stuff is definitely connected to Aquarius. So if you could figure out how to use AI technology to support your workflow, maybe you want to start, I don't know, somehow working that into your work structure, your lifestyle in some healthy way. This is also a deep focus on the mind. So a lot of reading, podcasts, conversations, thought leaders, just taking in information. This is a good time to take a lot of that in and to restructure the way you think. Aquarius also represents the outsiders. So yeah, Aquarius likes to go against the grain. If you're here, you probably, in more ways than one, go against the grain with society, because it's like most people don't follow astrology. Most people don't work on themselves, to be honest. So you're already here 10 steps ahead, you know? So sometimes the Aquarius energy can feel a little lonely or isolated, but like you will find your tribe. I hate using that word because it just doesn't feel fully aligned when I say it. The concept does. You will find others that connect with you deeply. I need, like, you'll find your star family, you will find your astro fam or whatever you want to call it, but you will find your group, people that you belong to. And you're only going to do that when you show up fully as yourself, not faking it. You know what I mean? So that's the fucking take home from this whole workshop, is just be you. Okay. All right. We have a bunch more notes in the notebook, the downloadable guide. I'm looking here to see if I really need to talk about this. The birthstone amethyst is great. There's journal prompts. Uranus, tarot cards, ruined planet. Yeah, we'll just stop there. So what we're going to do is just a guided meditation. Not even really a meditation, just like a visualization. I want you to be able to look at, I feel like, this future self. this came up recently, I think, in one of the full moon or new moon workshops, this future self, but it's coming through strong now. So we're going to continue to connect with that version of ourselves. So this is going to be you in a future timeline. If you want to pause, I'm going to quickly, it won't make a difference for you guys because it'll just keep playing, but I'm going to pause and go pee quick. So if you want to pause here and go pee or grab a water or whatever, we're going to do the visualization and then we're done. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we are going to do the guided visualization. Yeah, if you're ready, I invite you to close your eyes. And you can just feel into the energy in your space. Maybe just see what's very active for you today. Maybe there's not much activation. Maybe you can easily drop into a calm mind. Maybe some of you are feeling that you have a lot of thoughts today. Just don't even respond to them. Just let them pass through. And just doing a check-in. Do you feel neutral? Do you feel excited, grateful, happy? Do you feel frustrated or sad? And again, not creating a story around it, not even judging it, just being aware that it's there. Just allowing the awareness of the emotion or of your current state to just be what it is. You don't need to change it. You don't need to alter it. Also, releasing any labels or identities at the moment. Maybe you're a teacher or a manager or a daughter or a parent or whatever. Just allowing yourself to just release all of these things. And on each exhale, just letting those expectations and labels just melt off of you. And on each inhale, bringing in life force energy and just a refreshing breath. The breath is always present. The breath is always there to anchor us back into the present moment. And on each exhale, releasing any mental activity or expectations. And now that we're in a bit of a more relaxed space, I want you to just visualize who you are this time next year. And I want you to see yourself in the highest possible expression. So I want you to see yourself healthy, happy, abundant. And maybe abundance means something different to you. So do you have a lot of free time? Is that what abundance feels like to you? Do you have a lot of money or resources? I definitely want you to feel financially secure. I want you to feel that all of your needs are met. And what we're going to do is just take a step closer to this version of yourself. And I want you to come face to face. And now this version of yourself has clearly already broken free from some of the limitations that you currently carry. So maybe currently in your life, right now, you don't think you're good enough, or you don't think that you deserve abundance or love, or there's a deep imposter syndrome, or there's fear around scarcity or lack. But this future version of yourself, they don't think like that anymore. So if there was one thing that's really important that you let go of, an old, outdated way of thinking that you need to let go of, I want you to ask this future version of yourself, what should I let go of? And I want you to see what they say. Maybe there's more than one thing. So you can just connect with this future version of yourself and ask again, how did you get there? What did you let go of? And see what comes up. And now I want you to ask yourself, how? How did you let go of it? And if you're not getting a response, or if you are getting a response and you also want to add what I'm about to describe, but if you are not getting a response, I suggest that you ask them to write it in a letter, and you can imagine your future self writing it down on a piece of paper. You don't have to see what they're saying, but they're writing it down. And then I want you to accept that piece of paper. So your future self is going to hand you this note. And this note is going to tell you what you need to let go of and how you need to let go of it. How you can begin taking steps to let go of it. Now you can open the note and you can look at it, and maybe there's a word, maybe there's a symbol, maybe it's just an energy and you can feel it, or it's something that you just somehow immediately know. And if there is still nothing that's really coming through, then what I want you to do is just accept that note into your heart chakra. And everybody can do this once they've received the note. You're going to open your heart chakra, which is in the center of your chest, and you're going to just place the note in your chest. And this is going to help absorb this transfer of information. Now, this information will come up when it's ready. You don't have to overthink it. And I want you to just give gratitude for this information, for this insight. Give gratitude for the opportunity to connect with that future version of yourself. And if there's any last words or ideas that need to come through right now from your future self, then be open to receive it now and see what comes through. Now, if there's any last words or anything that you want to share with your future self, now's your opportunity to do that as well. And when you're ready, we're just going to give gratitude one last time. And we're going to allow our attention to come back into our body as we see everything just visually dissolve. This future version of ourself says goodbye. And we begin to bring some gentle movement back into the body. We can stretch out our neck, roll our shoulders, and when you're ready, you can come back into this space and you can open your eyes. And what I would invite you to do after this is to just journal a little bit about what was coming through, what is ready to be released, and how can you begin to release it. If you didn't receive anything super clear in that meditation, that's totally fine. You will receive the awareness at some point. Okay, we've opened the channel, we've connected deeper with ourselves. It will come through. Don't stress. I would invite you to just start writing, what are some things that I'm ready to let go of? And just see what comes up. And then I would write, how can I let go of these things? And I would just see what comes up. And this is how you're going to begin to connect deeper with the how and the what that you should be shifting right now in your life. And it's going to be completely different for all of us. So again, there's no right or wrong. Just get it on paper, get it moving. We also have journal prompts in the seasonal guide that you have for free as part of this downloadable workshop. Yeah, I think that's really it. There's obviously a bunch more information in the astrology calendar. If you guys want to download the bundle with the tarot forecast, I have a reading for your sun, moon, rising sign, your Mars, Venus placements. I do a yearly breakdown, a monthly breakdown. There's pick-a-piles. The tarot forecast is fucking awesome. Super easy to navigate. There's time markers and there's like over, I think, 15 hours of video content, all tarot. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you there. Definitely check out the Pluto in Aquarius workshop if you want to dive deeper into this. If not, I will see you at the new moon and the full moon workshop. And as always, you can click on, I think, the YouTube button or somewhere on the screen, and it'll open this up in YouTube. And like, please let us know, like in the comments, what's helping, where you're at right now. What are you feeling? I love when you guys communicate with each other and we can, again, create a sense of community and connection. So that's really amazing. So please check this out on YouTube. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. It helps this channel grow. And I love you guys so much. I will see you at the new moon, full moon workshop, wherever. I'll see you somewhere. Okay. I love you. Ciao.